I think one of the most important things that we've done is gotten together with our partners. When I started my job, the first superintendent here gave me one of the greatest pieces of advice, and he said, make friends before you need them. And I've taken that to heart. It has really played out incredibly well, because none of our organizations can handle a large fire by ourselves. And so, the whole national fire structure depends on helping each other out.
Those relationships are really important to establish and maintain well before you need them. So you know who to go to and how to work things out. And I think the other thing that's really important is just that if you've got those solid foundations, that when the times get tough and it gets challenging and the fires go long and you've got a lot of teams coming in and out and a lot of change, those partnerships will help you maintain that professionalism, that continuity and good relationships.
Yeah, the biggest thing was back in 2017 after Mike Lewelling, the fire management officer for Rocky, was part of that investigative team for Chimney Tops 2. He came back, we had a lot of conversations about how do you prepare for something that you've never seen before, never experienced before. And that 2017 workshop was really focused on how we respond to an incident that size, having realistic expectations about our staffing levels for various departments around here, how we'd interface, what major tasks needed to happen first. And then we revisited that conversation again in 2019 to look at what kind of progress we had made on our projects that we had set and targets that we had set for ourselves, and further expand into conversations about how do we prevent an incident like that, or how do we become more resilient as a community.
And all the agencies got together and talked about what areas were important from a defensibility standpoint, from creating those breaks and a treatment standpoint. So that planning effort, it's a lot of work up front, but it's really important to align priorities generally. So when funding becomes available, the town doesn't have a fire treatment team. The fire district works with partners and landowners to do fire treatments, and the National Forest and the National Park do as well. So trying to get everybody on the same page for what's important around the Estes Valley is important, and is that community wildfire protection program, or plan rather, is a really great tool to accomplish that.
The meetings with our fire protection districts, the other agencies, Larimer County, Boulder County, Grand County, and certainly the Forest Service is one of our biggest partners. This last year with East Troublesome Fire and the Cameron Peak Fire, we really relied heavy on our partners, and especially when the East Troublesome Fire was threatening Estes Park, the Estes Valley Fire Protection District Chief Wolf was instrumental in getting a lot of extra partners and local cooperators to come up and help, which ended up being a lifesaver. They were at that time the catcher's mitt. There were at least 40 engines that were parked right at our boundary and coming in and protecting structures. So yeah, I couldn't overemphasize the need and the time commitment to build those relationships in a give and take fashion, so that when the bad event happens, you're ready for it.
Of course, none of the plans are perfect. There's plenty of things that we learned from that experience and adjustments that we would make for future incidents. But a lot of it really did help set us up and get that first 24 to 36 hours rolling a lot more smoothly, as well as building the relationship so we knew people when the incident started. It wasn't the first time you were meeting someone. You knew what everyone's MOs were, what their priorities were, and what they were going to be looking for as we worked together as a team.
Partnerships are critical. So with us, we have a fire district that's separate from the town. So the town is focused on our relationships with the fire district, with the national park, with the state forest and the national forests, and with our Larimer County Sheriff's Office and emergency services. So when you have such a fractured landscape from a political responsibility level, it's really important to have strong partnerships and relationships ahead of time. There's a great saying that you can't make friends when you need them, and it's absolutely true. You want to have very strong groundwork of relationships, personal relationships as well as organizational, laid with all of the agencies that are going to be important in the response to a fire.
So building and maintaining those partnerships that are most crucial to us during fire season. So for us, it's the Forest Service, which really pretty much surrounds the park. It's the towns of Estes Park and Grand Lake, and then it's the 3 counties that the park resides in: Larimer County, Boulder County, and Grand County.
I think the biggest lesson that came out of last year is how key those relationships were, and building those relationships, having those conversations before the fire season. Trying to be, I guess, realistically pessimistic about how bad of a problem you could have, and realizing that your best chance is to do some pre-planning. And even if your plans aren't perfect, some plans are better than no plans.
So that's the best part of these fires, is that we've got such a strong connection with so many agencies. So it's a all hands on deck kind of team effort that helps us try to manage this fire and stay in good communication, so that we can ensure that structures are protected to the best of our ability, and that we've got people out of harm's way, that being the number one priority. So it's that's kind of the silver lining, is our communities really work closely together, and everybody's in it together.